This is the weekly sales meeting for October 5th, 2025. My name is Chris Fleming. You can reach me at chris@cdmediaconsulting.com or go to our website at cdmediaconsulting.com. Today's topic: what color is the grass on the other side of the fence? We live in a world where comparisons are everywhere. From social media to sales meetings, it's easy to look around and assume someone else has it better. Their numbers are higher, their clients are bigger, their marketing looks sharper, their lives seem more balanced. In fact, the old saying, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, captures this perfectly. But that saying leaves out one important truth. It only looks greener from far away. Up close, their grass might be dry, patchy, and full of weeds. What we see from a distance often hides what is going on. And yet many salespeople, and even whole organizations, spend their time staring at somebody else's yard instead of tending to their own. In outside sales, this mindset can be dangerous. When we define our success by what we think others have, we stop improving what we do have. We chase shadows. We envy things we don't fully understand. We start believing someone else's journey is the blueprint for our own. But the truth is, their path is filled with problems too, only we don't see them. Stephen Furtick is a best-selling author. He wrote Do the New You, among other titles. He said the reason we struggle with insecurity is because we compare our behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel. That quote is especially true in the sales profession. We often see other sellers land big accounts, get recognized in meetings, or post about their wins online. But we don't see the long nights, the lost deals, the fear, the doubt, or the dozens of prospects who said no. So we assume they're doing it better than we are. We assume their grass is greener. But what if it's not? What if the grass only looks greener because we've stopped watering our own? Psychologically, this behavior is called social comparison theory. This is a term coined by psychologist Leon Fessinger in 1954. Fessinger found that people have a natural tendency to compare themselves to others. This is how we evaluate our opinions and abilities. This is especially true when there's no clear benchmark for success. So it happens in the sales department, where quotas shift, clients change, and wins come in waves. But this comparison can backfire. Instead of motivating us, it can discourage us. We start feeling like we're behind even when we're making solid progress. We often feel small next to someone else's big win, and that feeling eats away at our confidence. There was a 2018 study published in the Journal of Personality and Individual Differences. This study found that people who compare themselves to others on social media were more likely to feel depressed. They are often anxious and or dissatisfied with their own lives. That dissatisfaction bleeds into our performance. We spend time worrying about how we measure up instead of focusing on what actually moves the needle. It is our pipeline, our preparation, and our follow-through. Now imagine a sales organization built on this mindset. Instead of refining their own strategy, the team keeps trying to copy the competition. If another company launches a flashy campaign, they mimic it. If another team lands a certain client, they chase similar accounts, whether they're a fit or not. They're so busy looking over the fence that they forget to check their own soil. Are their systems strong? Is their messaging clear? Are their habits consistent? None of that gets attention because envy has taken the wheel. But here's the truth. Greatness never comes from imitation. As Oscar Wilde said, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. When a seller chases other people's definitions of success, we lose sight of what makes us different. We stop listening to our own voice. We dilute our brand, and in sales, dilution is death. Buyers don't want generic. They want insight. They want confidence. They want someone who knows who they are and what they bring to the table. We have all witnessed this on a sales call. A representative tries too hard to mimic someone else, losing authenticity in the process. The pitch sounds scripted, as if lifted straight from a brochure, rather than coming from a genuine conversation. The solution presented feels driven by what others are doing instead of what the customer truly needs. This is the danger of comparison. It strips away originality and connection. Instead of building trust, it creates distance, making the interaction feel hollow. When we lose our personal touch, the soul of the sale disappears, and with it, real impact. Comparison also takes a heavy toll on culture. In workplaces where it runs unchecked, morale declines and collaboration gives way to cutthroat competition. Successes are no longer celebrated but resented, and that resentment slowly poisons the team. Productivity falters and trust begins to crumble. High performers often leave not because they fear hard work, but because the environment feels toxic and unsustainable. It becomes less about shared goals and more about individual survival. The workplace feels like a relentless race with no real winners. Everyone is running, but no one feels grounded, connected, or genuinely proud of their efforts. The smarter path is inward, not outward. True success starts with asking, how can we make what we have even better? This does not mean ignoring the outside world, but it does mean refusing to let it dictate who we are and how we operate. We observe trends, but we do not worship them. We stay aware of competitors, but we rely on our own judgment. The focus shifts from chasing someone else's story to strengthening our own. By asking tough, honest questions about our business, we uncover opportunities for growth that imitation could never provide. How is our follow-up? How is our messaging? How often are we asking for referrals, creating connections, or revisiting dormant accounts? These are the questions that grow our own grass, not the questions about who won the latest deal down the street, not the envy about whose LinkedIn post got the most likes. In sales, real growth is quiet. It's unglamorous. It happens when no one is watching, but it shows up over time in stronger margins, deeper relationships, and healthier pipelines. One of the most powerful lessons in all business comes from Theodore Roosevelt, who said, "Comparison is the thief of joy." But it's more than that. It's the thief of focus. It's the thief of progress and the thief of momentum. In B2B sales, the goal isn't to look better, it's to be better. And being better starts by owning where you are, what you have, and what you can control. There's also a strong economic case for this. Companies that invest in continuous improvement rather than chasing trends outperform their peers. Companies with a strong learning culture and internal growth mindsets are 52% more productive. These same companies are 92% more likely to develop novel products and processes. Translation: focusing on your own grass works. It's also worth noting that many of the companies we admire today started in the shadows. They weren't flashy, they weren't household names, they focused on fundamentals. They got better one decision at a time. They didn't copy, they crafted. That's what makes their success sustainable. Sustainability is everything. Anyone can win once. The question is, can you win over time? To do that, we must shift our focus from envy to effort, from admiration to action, from imitation to identity. That means setting goals based on our own values, not someone else's results. It means building systems that work for our clients. It does not mean chasing only what looks successful on the surface. In practical terms, this could mean creating a "what's working here" review at the end of each quarter. Instead of asking what competitors are doing, ask what's improving inside your own team. Who's getting more referrals? Who's shortening their sales cycle? Who is turning objections into opportunities? Those insights are far more valuable than gossip from across the fence. We should also normalize the reality that even great sales teams have weeds. Every successful seller has deals fall through. Even top performers hit a slump. Every winning organization has a stretch where nothing seems to land. That is normal. But if we only look at the highlight reels, we miss that truth, and that causes unnecessary shame. We start thinking our struggle is a sign of failure instead of a sign of growth. Mark Manson is a best-selling author, blogger, and personal development expert. He is known for his blunt, no-nonsense approach to self-help. He rose to prominence with his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a... that word. The book combines humor, philosophy, and psychology to challenge conventional positivity. He writes, happiness comes from solving problems, and solving problems starts with owning them, not running from them, not covering them with envy, not blaming the market or the economy or another team's advantage, but sitting with them, naming them, and improving them. Great salespeople don't waste time chasing the illusion of greener grass. Instead, they focus on improving their own soil. They water what they have, nurture their roots, and commit to their routine. They don't get distracted by what others are doing. They stay grounded in the work that matters. Over time, that consistency pays off. Their patch of ground starts to grow, strengthen, and stand out. Not because they copied someone else, but because they invested in what was already theirs to build. Because here's the final truth. When you take care of your grass, others start looking at you. They start wondering how your team keeps winning. They wonder how your clients stay loyal. They are interested in how your message stays fresh. But by then, it won't matter, because you'll be too focused on your own growth to even notice them watching. So, is the grass greener on the other side? It may be, it may not be. But what is certain is this: it is not your grass, and you can't control it. What you can control is your daily effort. You can control your internal standards, and you can control your willingness to work the land you've been given. When you do that, success isn't only possible, it is inevitable. My new book, Double Your Revenue, is now available on Amazon.com. If you like what you have heard here today, please consider ordering a copy or two. You can always send one to a friend. Go to cdmediaconsulting.com right now and follow the instructions to order.